August 10th, 2021. This is the day that I started my master plan art challenge. An art challenge in which you post your art on social media daily. It's a challenge that I apparently failed because I missed 10 days. What? Despite that, I was able to crank out 60 days worth of drawing practice within this first phase, and these are the 5 things that I learned. I can say personally that I have a tendency of getting very impatient whenever I'm not improving at something at the rate I want to improve. Like, I have an idea of like the level I want to reach when it comes to, you know, drawing. Like, I want to be able to like crank out illustrations like this, and you know, maybe be able to draw on the level of like comic book creators like this also. Once you finish a practice session and you see your work and then you see others work, it can get kind of frustrating because like you want to be at that level so badly. Well, me personally, that is. Not only that, but I also get impatient while I'm actually drawing. Like, sometimes I get impatient when I have to like sit down and like come up with a pose. I have to, you know, create the foundation, create the line art, making sure that it has gesture, making sure that the pose looks, you know, proportionally sound and everything. Like, I want to move through the stages fast and I want the thing to look good. And what I learned is that impatience leads to you being dissatisfied with the current state of your art. I had to start thinking to myself that it doesn't matter what the outcome is of, you know, of my drawing practice or, you know, some piece of art. It doesn't matter what it looks like now because it's a learning process. My skills are a work in progress and there's always room for improvement. Rather than seeing the finished product of something I created as a failure because it's not anatomically correct or the clothes don't look realistic or the, you know, something looks bad, basically. Rather than seeing the drawing as a failure, I had to start seeing the drawing as a win because it's another opportunity to learn something. It's another opportunity to critique your work, thus improving your observation skills so you can improve on it in the next drawing. That's sort of the mindset I'm trying to take on and combat my impatience with. So that's the first thing I learned. There's nothing inherently wrong with pointing out the mistakes in your art, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that you need more practice because that's the right thing to do. Don't get an F on your calculus test and be like, oh man, you know, like, it is what it is. Like if you don't want to improve, then I guess you can do that. But like, if you want to improve, you gotta look at the F and be like, that F doesn't stand for fantastic. All right, I gotta look at some YouTube videos. I gotta look at organic chemistry tutor and improve my calculus skills so I can get an A on the test. And by the way, I hate calculus. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. There isn't anything wrong with admitting that you made a mistake, and there isn't anything wrong with admitting that you need more practice. There's nothing wrong with being critical. There's nothing wrong with critiquing yourself. However, you can go overboard with this. It's easy to descend into a state of craziness. And what do I mean by this? Well, I think you've entered a state of craziness when you start having these self-loathing thoughts. Some of these self-loathing thoughts include like, oh man, my art sucks, so my drawing suck, I suck at drawing. Yeah, what's the point of even trying when I know that my art is gonna look like boo-boo water at the end? No, thoughts like this can mess up your sigma male grind set or sigma female grind set. You know, you gotta be PC, not Mac. Bottom line is you don't want anything messing up the grind set, you know. Over the course of these 60 days, I found out that being overly critical, not critical, overly critical, because there's a difference between the two. I learned that being this way can lead to that negative mindset. So you may be thinking, all right, man, I've heard all this self-motivational, mystical, mumbo jumbo, spiritual, lyrical, individual stuff, all right? Now, how do I actually do this? How do I put it into practice? I'm gonna tell you that. So this is what I do. Every time I'm dissatisfied with something I drawn or something I painted, instead of saying I suck at this or this sucks, I say that this needs work, and just because of this, I now know how to improve on the next thing. I'm grateful of what I've drawn, basically. So that's how you put into practice. Every time that negative thought comes to your head, you have to view this as a learning experience. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And if you take on this perspective, like I said before, you view every drawing as a win, since every drawing is a learning experience that will constructively set you up for the next one. All right, so don't be overly critical, right? Don't overreact.
Man, that pissed me off, man.
During these 60 days, I've learned to try to be in the zone while I'm drawing, or in the moment. Eliminating all distractions, focusing on the task at hand, and not worrying about all the stuff I need to do on my list. By eliminating distractions and not worrying about like what's next on your to-do list, you're able to focus all your energy on that specific task so you get more out of it and you're able to, you know, get it done. Worrying about what you have to do next and like all the things you have to do for today causes anxiety, and that takes away from your focus and your willpower. Also, if you're looking for for a way to track the amount of hours you put into drawing and incentivize your productivity, I recommend you guys download the Forest app. It's something I've been using during this art challenge. You basically create a task and then set a timer, and while your timer is counting down, a tree is growing. And every time you complete a session, a new tree will be added to your forest. And every time you use your phone and get distracted, your tree dies. I think it's a cool way to gamify your daily tasks and your drawing sessions. So, you know, feel free to check it out. Not sponsored in any way. I think it's just a cool app. Okay, so the fourth thing is I learned something about fear and the comfort zone. When I sat down to do some drawing practice, I realized that I wanted to take the easy route. I just constantly did art studies, mindlessly copied tutorials while not actually learning from them, and I hardly ever finished my illustrations. I thought to myself, yeah, maybe I should just stick with, you know, doing studies, because if I actually try to draw something on my own, it's gonna suck. I had to learn to go beyond, if you know what I'm saying. I had to aim for new heights. I had to try new things from time to time, so I didn't end up being stuck in one place forever, or for like a long period of time. Like me, for instance, I would stay on a particular subject for weeks on end, like gesture drawing, for example. I didn't understand that the concepts build upon each other. Every time you sit down and do a drawing, like if you want to draw a character or something, every time you sit down and draw a character, you're gonna be doing gesture drawing regardless, because that's one of the foundational concepts. It's necessary to be thinking about gesture and including it in an illustration. Concepts build upon each other, and I realized that I can study gesture from time to time, but I can't make it the only thing I'm doing. I have to practice other things. And I learned that the reason I was doing this because I was scared of my drawing looking like absolute garbage, and I didn't want to see any garbage. I wanted to see some good stuff. That fear is still there, and I'm working on like getting rid of it entirely. But the advice I can give to you if you're on your own art journey is, you know, just don't be afraid of creating a bad drawing. You know, just do what Shia LaBeouf said.
Just do it!
The fifth thing I learned: do fun stuff. What do I mean by that? Don't just limit yourself to doing art studies, because that can get boring and tedious. I could enjoy studying 24/7. It's not healthy. Like, get some help. And how do you do this? You know, do some fan art. Draw some stuff that interests you. Like, I'm gonna show you some examples right here of stuff I've drawn. Alright, so here's some fun stuff that I drew. So first off, we got Blackfire from OG Teen Titans, not from that trash that's out right now. And I gotta admit, this was a childhood crush of mine, but don't tell anyone I said that, alright? Next is Giovanna from Guilty Gear Strive. I haven't played a single game of Guilty Gear, but I just really like this character's design. This was for a drawing contest that was conducted by this animation club that I'm in. This is an OC named Verdina, or like a witch, magical girl character. Yeah, of course we got Chris Pratt as Mario, you know, the perfect fit for you know, the famous video game character. I mean, why wouldn't you get Star-Lord as Mario? That's like Mario Galaxy in a nutshell. And then I drew Player 67 from Squid Game, you know, the girl that everybody's simping over right now. And I drew Kita from the legendary yet criminally underrated movie Atlantis. What's the point of me showing you all this? The point is, you gotta find some time to cut loose, you know, because when you're doing studies all the time, you risk getting burnt out. Not only will you be drawing stuff that you actually like, but you're actually applying the concepts that you learn in your studies. Like, I wouldn't be able to draw this if I didn't apply gesture, and I wouldn't be able to draw this if I didn't study portrait drawing. Because when you're drawing stuff like this, you're still learning, you're still applying the information. So yeah, do fun stuff. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you check out the description for, you know, cool links. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell so you don't miss a single Innerman classic. As every YouTuber says, it really helps out the channel. Once again, thank you for watching. This is Innerman from Innerman Arts, signing off.